Fantastic. Well, today we're going to take up another bid that really forms the basis for your entire bidding structure for finding 4-4 fits, 5-3 fits, 6-2 fits, games, part scores, and slams. If you use Jacoby transfers, Stamen, and Texas transfers, you have everything that you need to find a slam or to know whether to stop in game or to play a part score. So it's an important bid to know. And we all know that we can open a no trump and probably should open a no trump holding a 5-card major suit. 1 no trump, 2 no trump, 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, 2 no trump, because it puts your hand in a box. Anytime you can limit your hand and describe it with one bid, or as John Parrish says, put it in a box, you should do so, because the sooner you limit your hand, the more descriptive the bid is and the better positioned your partner is to make a decision on where you should play. So now all of you learned about Jacoby transfers when you were relative beginners, I think. Some of you may not have learned until later on in your bridge careers, but it's something that we do go into in the first course that we teach, Easy Bridge. Easy Bridge 1 is what we use. And everybody that knows Jacoby transfer says, what in the world is a Texas transfer and why should I care? Well, because, as I said, the Texas transfer works so well when combined with Stamen and Jacoby transfers to form your whole major suit bidding structure over no trump opening. One of the reasons that it is so helpful is that the responder can use the Texas transfer to show a hand that is interested in game only. It says, partner, I have 6 cards in the indicated major suit and I have enough for game, period. That is what the situation will be about 95% of the time when you use a Texas transfer. It will be a game only hand. It says, I have 6 of these, partner. I want to play in the 6-2 fit. I know that you have at least 2 cards in my suit. I know that you have 15 to 17 high card points, and I have enough that we can play game, and I know where it should be played. So about 95% of the time, a Texas transfer is going to be an indication that you're going to play in 4 of that major. The Texas transfer sets the trump suit because there is a known 8-card fit. Now, when you do that, because it sets the trump suit, in the 5% of cases where responder has enough that he knows that slam is in the offing and he wants to rebid for no trump, that's now key card or blackwood, whichever you play, for the indicated major suit. It's no longer quantitative because we have agreed a trump suit. So responder uses Texas to show a hand that is definitely game only or slam, definitely slam. He uses the Jacoby transfer to indicate a slam invitational hand. He does that by transferring at the 2 level. Jacobys are done at the 2 level, and then jumping to game immediately. Not inviting, not doing anything, just jumping to game. That shows a 6-card suit with a hand that is interested in slam if the opener is on the maximum end of his range. So here are the point requirements. And I put a slide on here that's wah, 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 same old, all the time. You got to be tired of hearing me say opener is the describer and responder is the decider. So by using the Jacoby transfer or the Texas transfer, responder can very accurately give information to his partner. In the case of no trump opening bids, describer and decider often flips. often flips. Sometimes the captain or the responder becomes the private when he says to his partner, well, I have 5 cards in this suit, for instance, with a Jacoby transfer. Where should we play, partner? Well, now the opener is the captain. So sometimes it flips back and forth. The following point requirements for game only, slam invitational, and slam going are different depending on the level of no trump that was opened. So when partner opens 1 no trump, if responder has 10 to 15 points, generally that means there'll be game only, because even if he has 15, unless partner has 17 with some kind of distributional characteristic to add to the point count, you're going to be just a bit short for slam and no trump. There are instances where when responder has a 15-point hand that it might produce a slam. And some people like to say when they have 15 that they like to invite partner. Slam invitational hands require at least 16 total points. And in general, 16 to 17 is what you need for slam invitational. And this is not just high cards, it's total points. Definite slam going hands are 17 or more total points when partner has opened 1 no trump. Now, when he opens 2 no trump, all of a sudden, since game takes only 26 points, a lot of times 25 is adequate. So 5 points in the responder's hand, all the way up to about 11, will produce game. If you have 11 or 12 points, and these are cusp bids, some of it depends on what kind of distribution you have, what your spot cards look like. If you have lots of 10s, 9s, and 8s, obviously your hand is worth more than your spot cards being 2s, 3s, and 4s would be. So 12 total points, high card and distribution, and 13 or more would be slam going, definite slam bids, because after all, partner has promised 20, and if you have at least 13, you have 33. You have no doubt in your mind but what there should be a slam available. When your system tells you that you should bid a slam, be there. If your system is consistently putting you in slams that don't make, you need to look at your system. Because when your system tells you you should be in a bid, if it's a good system, just be there. It doesn't always work out, but you need to be there if your system tells you you should be.
Susan,
all right. Yes.
Susan, before you go on, so you're saying if you're quantitative, you should say one, when they say 1 no trump, you should say 4 no trump. But if you
have a quantity, if you have 16 or 17 points, yes.
But what if you have a good 5-card spade suit? Would you not?
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. How to tell the difference between a 5-card major suit, a 6-card major suit, and how to invite slam in either the major or no trump. Was that your question, Janet?
Yeah. Whether you go ahead and find your suit before you show the points, or if you find the suit and then jump to 4.
You should always try to find your major suit fit, particularly if you're on the verge, on the cusp. Sometimes hands will produce slams in either no trump or a suit, but when you have a known 8-card major suit fit, you want to be in the suit slam most of the time. Yes, I know the no trump slam will get you 10 more points, but the suit slam is safer. And as I've said 1,000 times, you don't have to go for a top on every board. There are match point mavens out there that want to play no trump all the time. Occasionally, hands will score a little better in no trump than they will in the suit contract, but our first choice of a place to play is the 8-card major suit fit. Now, if you and your partner have agreed that your first choice of a place to play is no trump, then that changes everything. But for most of us, our first choice of a place to play is in the 8-card major suit fit. These slams are safer, simply not only because you can rough, but if you're counting on your suit to break for a no trump contract and it doesn't, then you're really in the suit. So let's talk for just a minute about when the responder has a single suited hand that's game only, and his suit is 6 cards. Texas transfers are used about 95% of the time to show game only hands. Once in a while, you'll have enough that you'll be interested in the slam. Most of the time, they're going to be game only. You show that hand by transferring in the same manner that you do for a Jacoby transfer, by bidding the suit directly beneath your suit in rank. At the 4 level, though, instead of at the 2 level. By doing so, you have absolutely promised a 6-card suit. You transfer following a 2 no trump opening in the same manner, but you obviously need fewer points when partner has opened 2 no trump than when he has opened 1 no trump. Here are some examples. Here's a south hand that has 11 high card points in it and a 6-card heart suit. South shows that by bidding 4 diamonds. Partner bids 4 hearts. Everybody passes. This is a game only hand. This is not good enough to be in slam territory following a 1 no trump opening, because North has boxed in his hand. He has a maximum of 17 high card points. Now, here's an example of a hand that has a 6-card spade suit. And notice it's not a great 6-card spade suit. But on the other hand, he has 10 high card points in his hand. This is certainly enough for game. There are 2 doubletons, so we really want to play in spades here. 1 no trump, 4 hearts, and I will caution you right here, right now. Many is the time that an opener has forgotten that 4 hearts is not to play. Expect to play in a transfer suit at least once. It would be unusual if it didn't happen to you at least once. And the only thing to do about it is play the hand as fast as possible, laugh as much as you can, and then go on to the next one. It's not the fate worse than death. The sun's still going to come up in the east tomorrow morning. Partners sometimes forget, and all of us do. So we need to be a little forgiving, particularly when we have first learned Texas transfers. Notice neither one of these hands has any interest in anything other than game. This is the way that the responder, in this case South, shows that.
Susan,
Yes.
a question from Pat and one from Scott and Rhonda.
All righty. Go right ahead, Pat.
Well, I noticed that in the hands you show, there are honors in the Texas transfer suit. In the Jacoby transfer, no honors are required if you have 5. Does the Texas transfer require at least 1 honor?
Well, there are no honors are required, especially if you're going to transfer and draw. With the Jacoby transfer, obviously you would like to have honors in your 6-card suit, but if you meet the point requirement otherwise, I would go ahead and do it. Simply because whatever honors your partner doesn't have are where your losers are going to be. Sometimes we forget that our combined points can be enough for game, but they may not be in the trump suit. When you lack honors in your trump suit, that just means that your losers are in your trump suit rather than in your side suits. If you have the points needed for game, transfer, and then go ahead and do it. Yes, on that one, I had ace 10. I had only 2 honors, 1 major honor, 1 minor honor in it. If I had a 10 high suit, I would still do it if I had the values for it. If I don't have the values for game, then I use a regular Jacoby transfer to the 2 level and invite my partner to game if I have a hand worth 7 or 8 points, or I drop him if I have fewer than 7. Texas transfers require at least game going points. Doesn't matter whether they're in the trump suit or not. Rhonda, does that answer your question, Pat?
Yes, thank you.
Good, thank you. Rhonda and Scott, go right ahead.
Yes, I need to check. Is the Texas transfer alertable?
Yes, sir, it is. Because, and that it's announceable. You announce the suit, the ACBO wants us to announce the suit that it indicates, but nobody will come after you or nobody will call the bridge police if you say transfer. But since it doesn't indicate the suit that you're bidding, we do have to let the opponents know that that's not a real suit bid, that it indicates something else. That's a good point. Thank you. So now here are a couple of examples of hands that would be game only following a 2-no trump opening. If North opens 2-no trump and I'm sitting here holding the South hand, I've got 6 points. I know my partner has 20. And so I'm pretty sure we have a game. I have 6 decent hearts, and I know he has at least 2. So I'm going to use a Texas transfer and say, partner, don't even think about anything more than game. I think it's entirely safe that we have game, but forget about slam or anything else. If I had 2 points in this hand, say, or even take away the king of diamonds and take away the jack of hearts and make it the 2 of hearts, then I would transfer to 3 hearts and pass. Notice when you use a Texas transfer, you need to have enough for game opposite the number of no trump that your partner has opened. So not having enough for game here, if I had only say 2 points, if I had the queen of hearts, 5 little ones, no king of diamonds, then I transfer to hearts just as I would if I had 5, and then I pass. Simply having 6 cards in a suit doesn't mean you should automatically use a Texas transfer. You need to have the points required for game, because see how high it gets you? It gets you to the 4 level. So you have to have enough for game opposite however many your partner told you that you have. So here you would transfer to hearts with this hand. Notice there are only 4 points here in this hand, in the South hand, but I have 2 doubletons. I have, I shouldn't count shortness in the long trump hand, but I have length in the long trump hand. 4 high card points and 2 more. I'm going to bid the game with this hand. I can help my partner control these 2 minor suits here. And after all, my partner has at least 20 high card points in his hand. Some of you may open 2-no trump with a balance 19, and that's fine. Absolutely. I would still do it because my hand is worth 6 points and 25 is close enough. 26 is nice, but 25 is okay.
Got a question from Ella.
All right, Ella, fire away.
Can you use the Texas transfer with a minor suit?
Well, no, that's the short answer. When you transfer to a minor over a 1-no trump opening, you should have 6 of them anyway. And when you have minors, unless you are very, very weak, in general, you want to play a no trump instead. So Texas transfers really aren't indicated for minors because this indicates that we're going to play in a game contract in the suit. Most of the time when you have a lot of cards in the minor suits and you have a good hand, you're going to play no trump instead. It's only when you're very weak that you transfer to clubs, or if you have a whole lot of clubs or diamonds in your hand with scattered outside values and a lot of distribution, then you might want to play the minor suit slam, and you don't use a Texas transfer when you're looking for a minor suit slam. There are other ways of doing that, and I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right now because that is a big rabbit hole, believe me. So
Yeah, folks, really, anytime you use a convention, there may well be, frequently is, ways to do that in conjunction with minors. But first, you're going to be more successful if you nail down and truly understand the majors play in it.
yeah, well, and in the case of a minor suit slam over a no trump opening, what you generally use is something called minor suit stamen, or inverted minors can also produce a minor suit slam, even though you don't open a no trump when you use that. And then you will often use minor wood to ask for aces and things like that. Bidding minor suit slams over a no trump is a completely different animal from bidding major suit slams. So, and the answer really for Texas transfers and minor suits is no. It works only with the major suits. Okay, now then, what happens if I have a 6-card major and a 4-card major? Lots of you have heard me say that when you have at least one 4-card major in your hand, you start with Stamen. Well, does that apply with Texas transfers? Let's take a look and see here. This is a cool way to use both Stamen and Texas transfers together. Let's say you're holding this hand right here, this south hand. This is a highly distributional hand, isn't it? Notice you have 4 spades and 6 hearts. Your partner opens a no trump and you think, well, okay, I know we do have a heart set, but I have 8 high card points and lots of distribution here. We could play in spades. If my partner has 4 spades, I know we can play in hearts. But remember, the 4-4 fit is generally considered to be a superior fit. Why is that? It took me years and years to really get a good handle on this. I always said, well, I'd much rather play the 5-3 fit because then I have 2 trumps left in my hand usually. Well, the reason that you prefer the 4-4 fit is because if you have a 5-3 fit in another suit, then that 5-card suit can be set up so you can take discards in the shorthand. You can't do that if you have the same number of cards in a suit. In other words, a 4-4 fit will not produce any discards for you. If that suit is your trump suit, then you can use a 5-3 or a 6-2 suit to be set up to discard losers from the other hand. That's why we want to play the 4-4 fit first. The best way to go about finding that is to start with Stamen when you have 2 possible trump suits. Maybe you're a 4-4 in the majors, maybe you're a 5-4 in the majors, maybe you're a 6-4 in the majors. Now, if one of them is really awful, you might consider ignoring it. But I have found that when I'm nervous about bidding a major suit that's 9 high or some such thing, that very often when I let my partner know that I have 4 of them, that he'll put down something like king, queen, jack 10 or ace, queen, jack 9 or something like that. Often my partner has what I don't have. In the event that he doesn't, it's another one of those cases where our losers are all in the trump suit instead of in the side suits. So most of the time, I want to show that I have that 4-card major suit also. So start with Stamen when you have at least one 4-card suit. If you have 4, 5, or 6 in the other one, still start with Stamen because there is a way to transfer when you know Texas transfers if partner denies a 4-card major suit. On this first hand, 1 no trump by your partner, you bid 2 clubs because I have 2 possible places to play here. I want to start with Stamen. Partner denies a 4-card major by bidding 2 diamonds. Well, now when I bid 4 diamonds, when we have agreed that this is not going to be a diamond raise, I would not bid 2 clubs if I had diamonds in my hand. I have another way of showing diamonds over a 1 no trump opening, and it shouldn't be that I'm going to raise my partner's negative response to a Stamen inquiry here. This is never a diamond raise, never, when it's been used in conjunction with a convention. So 4 diamonds now. Texas transfers are a jump. 4 diamonds now indicates that I have 4 spades and 6 hearts in my hand. My partner, I am saying, partner, I was checking for the 4-4 spade fit. You denied it. So now I'm telling you I have 6 hearts. I know you have at least two, so please bid game in hearts. And he does. This is the way you can check for either a 4-4 fit or a 6-2 fit. You don't have to guess. Maybe your partner has, you just automatically transfer to hearts. Well, on this auction, everybody's going to end up there anyway. But when you look at it and look at one specific hand, then you're looking at the results on one hand only. Over time, you will find many instances where you find the 4-4 fit, and then your partner can set up this long suit for discards in his hand, if you're lucky at all. Notice you also, when you're 6-4, look at the shape you have in these other two suits. It's a wonderful thing to have the tool to be able to find either one of these games. Here's another example. This works over a 2-no trump opening also, except this time to bid Stamen. Here I have 6 spades and 4 hearts. I start with Stamen, 3 clubs. North says, sorry, not today, partner, don't have a 4-card major. 4 hearts says, well, I have 4 hearts, but I also have 6 spades, partner. Please bid 4 spades. We'll play the spade game instead. So this way you find either the superior 4-4 fit, or if that one doesn't exist, you know there is a 6-2 fit. I should stop here and mention that most of you know that it is now okay to open a no trump with a singleton, ace, king, or queen in your hand. I tried that once. My partner transferred me to that major suit where I had the singleton. It wasn't successful. I believe that I am not going to do that again, simply because I didn't have good luck at all trying to do that. And I kept telling myself, you know, if I do this, my partner's going to transfer me to this suit and then bid game or some such thing. And he's not going to be very happy if I don't make it. So whether or not you continue to do that, you need to talk with your partners about whether it's possible that you might open 1 no trump or 2 no trump with a singleton in a suit, particularly a major suit. When you do it with a singleton in a major suit, you're often going to be finding yourself in a boat where you don't want to be lots of times.
Susan, this is, there's been a couple of questions about alerting and what happens if your partner fails to alert your bid.
Okay, well, if your partner forgets to announce the transfer before the opening lead is made, you should turn to your opponents and say, my 4 diamond bid, in the case of this first hand right here, was a Texas transfer before they lead. Tell them that before. Anytime there is a failure to alert or announce, the one who didn't forget should turn to the opponents before the opening lead is made and say, I need to clarify something, or there was a failure to alert. My bid was thus and so.
That's only if your side is the declaring side.
Yes.
If you end up, your side gets the bid, you can't say anything.
Yeah. If you, obviously this is an uncontested auction, but if both sides are bidding and the side that ends up defending had a failure to alert in it, you do not tell the opponents until after the hand is over, because you are imparting what apparently is unauthorized information to your partner. If you are defending the hand, you do not tell the opponents about a failure to alert until the hand is over. Then the director can be called, because if there was any damage, then the declarer, or I'm sorry, the director will determine whether any rectification is indicated. So if you get the bid and there was a failure to alert, then if you think your partner forgot it, I mean, if he bid correctly and just failed to alert, you turn to the opponents and say, for clarification, my 4 diamond bid here was a Texas transfer. It indicates that I have six hearts. You know, that's what you should say. But if you end up defending, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
A question from Harvey and one from Janet.
All right, go right ahead, Harv.
On the last example on page 7 there, how would you bid that if the suits were 4 spades, 6 hearts?
Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Let's see, 2 no trump, 3 clubs, 3 diamonds, 4 diamonds. That's not a jump, but there's nothing else that it could be. It's not a raise. I mean, 3 diamonds is not a suit. It's a conventional response. I think that you and your partner should have this discussion. If you have a long diamond suit in your hand, you wouldn't start with 3 clubs. You would start with something else here. So 3 diamonds denies a 4-card major. So 4 diamonds would have to indicate a delayed Texas transfer, but talk with your partner about that. Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Who's next?
Janet, do you have a question?
Yes, I do. It's the same example. If you play puppet transfers, there's no way you can use this second example, correct?
If you play puppet, then 3 clubs is puppet, 3 diamonds says I have no 5-card major suit, but I have at least 1 4-card major suit.
Mhm.
Well, then you bid 4 diamonds, and it doesn't matter what suit the opener bids because you've got 6 in one and 4 in the other.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you.
You can use puppet with Texas transfers. You cannot, over 2 no trump openings, you cannot use puppet and smolin. You have to use one or the other.
Okay. Thank you.
So anybody else have a question before we go on? Nobody. Okay, we'll move on. All righty. First off, we're going to talk about when responder holds a slam invitational hand. The previous hands were game only hands. Now we're going to talk about slam invitational hands. When you use a Texas transfer to indicate a game going hand or a slam going hand, Jacoby transfers then are used to show a slam invitational hand with a 5 or a 6-card major suit. Now, you need to have at least 16 total points when we're talking about this, at least 16. Partner will have sometimes 15. Your 16 will often work out when you have 6 cards. I would say that I probably, well, 16 or 17 is generally considered to be slam invitational. If partner's minimum, then he's going to end up short of slam, and I'm going to show you how that works here in just a minute. When you have a 6-card major suit and you have enough to invite slam only, you start with a Jacoby transfer, not a Texas transfer. Start with the Jacoby transfer and then jump directly to game. This shows a 6-card suit with a slam invitational hand. It shows slam interest. And basically, it represents a slam try by the responder. Same thing over 2 no trump, but obviously you don't have to have 16 points. You have to have about 5 fewer, 11-ish would do in that instance. So the opener rebids in the following manner. If he has a minimum, he's going to pass the game bid. He's going to say, not today, partner. I either have 15 or I have a really awful looking 16. He can bid 4 no trump. This is not quantitative because the jump to 4 sets the major suit as trumps. It shows 6 cards in the suit. You have at least 2. Therefore, the major suit is trumps. When you are bidding or asking for aces, when a suit has been confirmed, an 8-card set has been confirmed as trumps, there are several ways to do that. When you open a major, you can confirm the trumps with Jacoby 2 no trump or with a splinter bid. Anything that you use that confirms that you have support and are wanting to proceed toward game or further, then you use 4 no trump as ace asking. In this instance, 4 no trump is no longer quantitative because the major suit has been set as trumps. You don't ever use Gerber when you are talking about suits. So 4 no trump is something that the opener can bid. That is either key card or straight blackwood, whichever one you play, for the major suit. It shows either a good 16 pointer or the maximum 17 pointer. And most importantly, first or second round control in the side suits. Remember, never use blackwood with a void. And of course, you wouldn't have opened 1 no trump with a void in your hand. That happened once at my table. One of my opponents opened 2 no trump because he didn't know what else to do. And he roughed the opening lead, which brought a call to the director, obviously. You know that opener doesn't have a void, but if you have a worthless side suit or a silly side suit or whatever you want to call it, one without a control in it, then you don't use blackwood in that instance either, simply because if partner shows you something less than all of the key cards or aces, you don't know which one he has. So first or second round control in all the side suits for a direct rebid of 4 no trump. Bidding 4 no trump also says, well, I have at least first or second round control in all the side suits, but I'm missing 1 or 2 first round controls. Now, Q bidding shows the same number of points as the blackwood sequence does, except that it shows a side suit that lacks a first or second round control, and you need to find out from your partner if he has one there. Remember, we don't want to be in a slam where we have 2 fast losers in any suit. That's embarrassing, guys. Ask me how I know this. To bid a slam and have the opponents take ace and king in a suit on the first 2 tricks. You kind of want to hide your face and say, oh boy, I did a bad thing. I did a bad thing. I used blackwood where I shouldn't have.
Boy has a question. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Go back to that first sentence where it says, when a player opens 1 no trump and responder holds 6 cards with 16 total points. Is that not the same sequence if the responder has 10 to 14 points? You still go through that same
Now,
sequence, right? To
I
get
had 10 to 14 and I had a 6-card major, I would bid the Texas transfer for game only.
for game only. You wouldn't go through this.
No, when I have 10 to 14
Okay.
points, I'm saying I don't have enough. And we're talking total points here. I'm
Correct.
not going to pursue a slam unless I have at least 16 total points in my hand, because partner could have as few as 15, and I need to be sure that if we have to stop at the 5 level that we're okay. Remember, he could open 1 no trump with 15, and there are people, a lot of people who open with 14 highs and a 5-card suit, counting 1 for length for the 15th point. If you and your partner do that, then 16 is not too many to pursue a slam. If you pursue a slam with 14 points in your hand when your partner has opened with 15, you're going to end up too high frequently. It's just not quite enough.
Well, at this point, I've been using Jacoby transfers with 10 to 14 points to get the game. Find a suit and get the game. What you're
Yes.
saying is don't use a Jacoby transfer, use the Texas transfer and then pass.
Yeah, yes. That shows a game only hand.
Okay,
Absolutely. So that when you do use
okay,
the Jacoby transfer and then bid the game, partner knows that you are looking, that you smell a slam and you need his help
okay.
in deciding. That's the way that you indicate, hey, I do have a 6-card suit here, partner. We don't need to decide, how many cards you have in my suit or anything, because I know we have 8 together, and I have enough that if you are on the top end of your announced range, we should pursue the slam. This way you communicate this fact very directly, very clearly to your partner. You don't have to guess. Now, the last thing that opener can do is just bid the slam without bidding any key card, anything. It shows a good 16 or the full maximum 17 points and 3 first round controls. That means partner's going to have 3 aces in his hand at least. And it's possible. I mean, he can have 3 aces, a king and a queen and be on 17. And he knows that you have a hand that's 16 or 17, not quite enough to insist on the small slam, but is slam invitational. And since he's maximum opposite your slam invitational, then he can bid the slam with 3 first round controls. One of those 3 things. Now, I can talk all day about all of this, but examples are a whole lot better. So here's the auction. You're sitting north, and this is your hand number 1 here. You've opened 1 no trump. Partner bid 2 diamonds. You say hearts, and then you bid 2 hearts, and then partner bids 4 hearts. What are you going to do with hand number 1?
Pass.
Yeah, you're going to pass. This is a minimum no trump, isn't it? The answers are over here on the right, but try not to look at the answers if you can avoid it. This is a minimum 15. You have 2 small hearts in your hand, and it doesn't matter if partner has a hand worth 16. This is just not quite enough. Notice I don't have 3 first round controls. I don't have much help for him in hearts. This is a minimum. This is a game only hand. Okay, here's hand number 2. We have another 1 no trump opener. This time partner bids a Jacoby transfer for hearts. You have 3 of them this time, 3 good cards, but you still bid 2 hearts. Partner then bids 4 hearts. Now what do you think you should do? Anybody have a thought? I'm looking here. I don't have a suit here in spades. I have to assume that my partner has one of the heart honors, having 16 points in his hand. It's hard for me to envision that he would have 6 hearts and not have one of the top 2. And I have first round control in diamonds and first round control in clubs. I have no sorry side suit at all, or no silly side suit, no worthless doubletons at all. The only thing I care about is what kind of controls my partner has. If I play Roman key card, I'll bid 4 no trump, asking for the 5 key cards. If I play regular Blackwood, I'll bid 4 no trump, asking partner to tell me how many aces he has, and then go from there. Hand number 3, still a 1 no trump opener. This time I have great hearts. My partner has transferred me to hearts again and then jumped to 4, saying I have a slam invitational hand with 6 hearts in it. Partner, what do you think? Well, this is a maximum no trump here, isn't it? But I have this problem in diamonds. If I bid Roman key card Blackwood and my partner shows me 1 key card, is it the king of hearts or is it the ace of diamonds?
You bid.
I have no way of knowing. So in that case, we could have 2 fast losers in diamonds. This is an invitation to have an egg on your face again when the opponents take the ace and king of diamonds on the first 2 tricks. So in this case, instead of bidding 4 no trump, because I have this worthless doubleton here in diamonds, my cheapest control is my ace of spades. Over 4 hearts, I'm going to bid 4 spades. Hopefully my partner will show me a diamond control after that. If he does, then I'll be beyond 4 no trump, but I'll show him some more of my controls and hopefully we'll end up in 6 hearts. If he shows me a club control, well, hey, he's got the king of clubs. Then I'll bid 5 hearts saying, I've shown everything I have, partner. If he has a diamond control, he'll then bid 6. Otherwise, he'll pass 5. See how that works? You can stay out of the slam with a worthless doubleton here if you use Q bids appropriately. But you have no way of finding out whether partner's one key card he shows you is the king of trumps or the ace of diamonds. Now, if you bid regular 4 no trump and he says 0, you're in a world of hurt. Now you have to stop in 5, don't you? But that's okay. You're at the 5 level.
I have a couple of questions, Susan. Sherry, go ahead,
So
please.
Susan, I kind of missed something there when you said that the 4 heart bid says that I have enough points to go to slam and I'm investigating.
When you have a 6 card major suit and you start with a Jacoby transfer rather than a Texas transfer and then jump directly to game, that's a slam try.
Okay,
That's the way you show the slam try hand with a 6 card major. When you use a Texas, you're showing either a game only hand or a definite slam hand, one of the two. It's when
So
you're in between, in the middle ground, you're better than a game only hand, not quite good enough to be a slam hand, that you start with Jacoby and then jump to 4.
okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah, what I was wondering then is if you do a Texas transfer and you have game only instead
Then
of
you just
trying.
pass. Then you
Okay.
just pass. Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. Who else had a question? Anybody? I thought you said.
I have a
thought-
question.
Okay, go right ahead.
This is Roy.
Mhm.
In this example, if you start bidding controls, you bid
I'll
your
bid 4
spade
spades.
control,
Yes.
correct, and partner bids 5
Well,
diamonds.
If he bids 4 diamonds,
Then-
no, 5 diamonds,
Or 5 diamonds.
5 diamonds,
He's
then
got the control.
yes.
How do you ask for the ace? Or how do you ask for the king
Well,
of hearts?
you don't ask then if he shows you a diamond control, then you just bid 6 hearts. You know, you don't have too fast
So there's
losers.
no way you get to a 7 bid.
Well, you shouldn't have
There's
enough.
no way you get to a 7.
No, not on, when your partner has limited his hand to 17 points, you don't have the firepower to be in Grand Slam zone. When you start looking for a Grand
Okay.
Slam, you've got to have, remember, first rule of slam bidding is you have to have enough power to bid to that level. When you have a hand that's 16-ish and your partner has limited his hand to 15 to 17, you're in small slam territory, not Grand Slam. If your partner starts with 2 no
Thank you.
trump and you have this hand, then by for sure, well, if he starts with 2 no trump, it's hard for me to picture 20 points that doesn't include diamond controls here. I wouldn't be nearly so worried about 2 fast losers in diamonds if he started with 2 no trump as I would be with 1 no trump. Notice this is a 17-point hand. I started with a no trump. If my partner showed 1 no trump, if I started with 2 no trump instead, let's give me the king of spades and say, oh, the jack of clubs. Then I would be thinking I would start with 2 no trump. And if my partner used a Jacoby transfer and then jumped to 4, then I probably would haul out key card, because I don't see how in the world my partner can have 20 high card points and not have diamond controls. He has to. They have to be somewhere. And I mean, I've got 17, partners got 20. We're in Grand Slam territory. But with a 1 no trump opener opposite a slam invitational hand, you're just not in the Grand Slam territory. You may make 7 if one of the defenders makes a mistake, or if the distribution is perfect, or an important card is in the pocket, but you don't want to be in 7 on a finesse or needing a suit to break, because you are potentially giving up the small slam bonus for an iffy Grand Slam. That's not the way to be successful in match points. Okay.
So Susan, to follow up, how do you ask for the king of hearts? once you get that 5 diamond response from your partner, you don't have the king of hearts. How do you say, well, we probably can have it? How do you have the king of hearts?
Well,
Or do
no,
you just
don't
jump-
have a way, you don't have a way to ask for the trump king here, because you had to, when partner bids, when I bid 4 spades, if partner does not bid 4 no trump right then you don't have a way to ask. I can't ask. Partner's the one with the long trumps. He
Okay.
really is the one who should ask anyway. But if I
So you,
bid,
so you just bid 6 hearts and let him bid the grand slam if he's got the king.
well, no, I don't expect him to bid 7, because we don't have the firepower. He may have ace and 2 little diamonds. I've got 2 little diamonds. We could very easily have a diamond loser. Just because he has a diamond control doesn't necessarily mean that we have 7. I mean, this is a case of, in order to have grand slam, you got to have enough points to be in that range, particularly when one of you has opened. That means you need 37-ish. So, but if partner had.
No, you open 2 no trump.
Well, if I open 2 no trump and my partner did that, then I just go ahead and bid. I would bid key card then. If I opened 2 no trump and my partner used a Jacoby transfer and bid 4 hearts, indicating slam interest, then he's got to have, he has at least 12, he has at least a hand worth at least 13 points. Then I'm going to go ahead and bid 4 no trump. Can you construct a 20-point hand opposite a 13-point hand that doesn't have at least 1 diamond control in it? It would be hard. It's possible, but in general, when you have a worthless doubleton, you don't use black unless your partner opened in such a way that you know he has to have something in the suit. And this takes a fair amount of experience, to tell you the truth. I wouldn't, opposite this hand, if my partner showed me a slam invitational hand, I would never pursue the grand, because my hand just isn't good enough. If he has more than what he has promised me, he's the one who goes on, not me. I have exactly what I promised. So in this case, if you get to 6 and your partner says, well, I promised you 13, I actually have 17, then it's up to him to go on, but not you. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
And
All right.
Susie has a question.
All righty, go ahead.
I just need clarification here. If I open that no trump, partner transfers me the hearts. Partner should not go to 4 unless they have 16 points and 6 hearts.
Right. Once you start playing Texas transfers, transferring to hearts and bidding 4 now is a slam draw. If you don't adopt Texas transfers, then your partner has no way of showing you a slam invitational hand.
Right. Okay, so if partner happened to say to raise the hearts to 3, what would that be saying?
Okay, well, the super accept is I'm on the maximum, I'm on 17 points, and I have 4 card support.
Okay, thank you.
Now, the last hand here is a maximum, obviously.
Susan,
So high
before
card
you get too much into that, we've got a question that Ella's phrased that's, I think is on a lot of their minds. What she's asked is total points means high card points only. Is that correct?
No, total
And-
points does not mean high card points.
That's right.
only. It's total points, not high card points. It's counting length if you are the one with the long trump hand, or it's counting shortness. And now here, I count this one as a 1 no trump opener. Some people would call this 18 points and open at 1 club. That's a matter of style. Generally, I don't do that unless my 5 card suit puts a smile on my face. This one is close, but not quite good enough. I'd like to have the jack of clubs in there with it before I went on. And then my hand's worth 18 points. But no, total points is either high card points and shortness if you're going to be the short trump hand, or high card points and length if you're going to be the long trump. Okay? Okay, this last example here, it shows a hand that would just bid 6 hearts. You are not, you're not on a minimum. You have a good 16 or the full 17. You have 3 first round controls. So you just bid 6. The lead's going to come up to your hand. So this hanging king here in spades is protected on the opening lead, because remember, you opened 1 no trump and a Texas transfer, or a Jacoby transfer, pardon me, was used. So you're going to be the declarer. The lead's going to come up to your hand that protects that king of spades. You have 3 first round controls, and you know that your partner has 16 or 17 points. Just bid it. Just bid it. Now, you can use Blackwood if you want to. That comes into the heading of giving the opponents information that they don't need to have. But if it makes you feel better, use it. Not required, though. When you know you have it, just bid it. The one who knows goes, in other words. And if you bid 5 hearts here inviting, your partner can pass, because he's going to think that you're not on a maximum, or that you're on less than wonderful 16. So when you know you have it, you go. And I'm done. Hi, this is Susan. Thanks for stopping by for our YouTube channel here for the Oklahoma Collective. This is the end of the lesson that we have for this session. But if you would like to join us on Saturday morning, each session is held at 9 a.m. Central Time. And to get the link, send your name and contact information to this email address shown at the bottom of our slide. It's funandgamesdbc@gmail.com. We're located in Oklahoma City, and we really, really like to encourage advancing players in every way that we can. The lessons are designed for advancing players, whether you are have been playing for 6 months or maybe several years, and we are open to suggestions for the topics. If you would like to be notified when there is a new recording on this channel, please click the follow button that you see below the screen there. And don't be afraid to send us that email. We'd love for you to join us on Saturday morning.